G'day scrappers. It's another day out. Street scrapping, yay! Gonna have a look around, see what goodies we can pick up today, if anything. If there's anything left. I'll start off with a bit of wire, and I don't want to take the rubbish, so I'll just cut out what I can. That'll do. There's a couple of lawnmowers over there. Hey, there's a cash register. We know I've had a bit of luck with cash registers. No coin. No coin, no cash. No. No $50 notes. Like that time when I picked up a cash register and I got $100 out of it. Some old speakers. No cord on that. Okay. I don't really want lawnmowers at this stage in the first street. Yeah. Yeah, I've had bad luck with lawnmowers. They leak oil in the van, and for what they're worth, I just can't be bothered. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much here either. Cord's been gotten to. It's not cable. No, I don't want that dirty microwave either. I might take the iron. Keep calling them irons. The sewing machine. No, I won't even take that. It's just plastic. So am I being picky? Well, a little bit. You've got to be a little bit picky at the start. Don't want to load up with just junk and miss out on potential good stuff. So each to their own, I guess. You know, some people can't afford to be too picky and they have to just get, but as you can see, you know, a lot of this scrap has already been gone through many times over, and most scrappers are picky scrappers. You know, everyone's sort of got their own little niche that they like to pick up. And, you know, scrap metal, yeah, it's okay, but it's not like super valuable at the moment. So, you know, you're doing a lot of work for just a little bit of money. So obviously you want to give yourself a chance at the start if you're looking for things to sell or electronics to scrap out. You want to give yourself a chance before you start loading with too much scrap metal to have a look around. You can always spend the last half hour going around and just filling it up with scrap steel if you really needed the money. But most people that go out scrapping, because there's so much of it here, it's a constant thing, they do much better by being very selective, and they, you know, they make money by selling furniture and selling, you know, all kinds of things. And you know, for me, it's mostly all about fun. You know, if I don't really make much money for the day, I don't really care, because I've got enough stuff at home to keep me busy. But you know, as you know, I like my PCs, my electronics. There's a lot of piles, but you know, it's mostly just furniture at the moment. But hopefully we'll stumble across a few interesting things to keep me entertained. Actually, this is a nice clean one. I might take it. Hey, cord and rip the cable out of that. Yeah, see if I can find some interesting things. G'day. G'day. How's it going? Oh, you just missed out on my camera. Oh, really? Yeah. Stereo. It's an old plasma TV, but can't be bothered. I don't want to do plasma TVs. End up with a lot of junk. These old pool pumps always got a decent cord. Bit of aluminium. Junk. Woof, 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 woof. Huh. Oh, well, one lawnmower. If I don't get any good stuff, I might go around and ask people if they want their lawns mowed. Going by the amount of scrappers that are out and about, I don't think I can afford to be too picky. I think I'm going to just have to take pretty much anything to get some value here. So this doesn't weigh much at all. I thought it was going to be a bit heavier than that. But yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to do a grab and run, because there's scrappers everywhere. So it doesn't feel like I'm going to get much in the way of electronics. So if I'm not getting electronics, then, well, I might as well get some scrap steel, bit of irony aluminium to add to the piles that I got at home already. Because yeah, the scrappers aren't leaving much. They're probably taking a leaf out of my book and thinking, well, I'm going to also go and get some scrap steel to cash in and all that. But we're still at the start of this area, so there's you know, quite a bit to go. I guess all I'm looking for at the start is something to get me excited and pumped up. You know, a PC or something really good, just so it can give me a bit of a feel that it's going to be an okay day. Well, how's this? It's a PC full of hard drives. It's just got all hard drives. It's scrapped out and it's hard drives. Well, that's strange. Circuit board, mostly hard drives. It's obviously from a scrapper that didn't know what to do with them, or just destroyed his own. You can see he's tried to smash them up a bit. That's all right. Oh well, it's not a PC, but still. The aluminium wheels, I can get irony alley. But probably not with the tires. Yeah, it looks like a scrapper has come and dumped his stuff. See, the vacuums have been scrapped out. I reckon the scrapper's just dumped this. Oh, it's a nice heavy piece of steel. That's nice aluminium. Oh well. There's a bucket of stuff I might want to look at. Well, someone certainly repaired a lot of bike tyres. Just want to look in here. Yeah, there's brass and all kinds of steel, so I'll take that. Oh, it's nice and heavy. Yeah, I'll just go through this. I can see brass keys, brass locks, yeah, all kinds of stuff. So plus the bucket is steel, so that's okay. Yeah, scrappers have come picked pretty hard, so just gonna have to grab what we can. See, this lawnmower is already annoying me. That's why I don't like to pick them up. They're just and muck you around. Okay. That'll do. Yeah. Oh well. Get a cord. Yeah. That cord's gone. Oh. Couple of phones. Get a circuit boards out of, recycle the batteries. See these batteries? These batteries were going straight into landfill. How bad is that? So at least I've got them and I'll do something better with them. Rather than, you know, it must be an amazing amount of batteries that go into landfill. I'd hate to think how much. But, I noticed some steel bars. Some nice steel bars. Oh yeah, good heavy stuff. And they fit. I love it. More bars to keep. You know, one day I might put up a whole set of fencing up, you know, and very crappy old speakers. I actually need one of these antennas for my radio. Might be able to throw this into Irony Alley. Since I've got a pile growing. Yeah. Yeah, cord cutters have got most of it, so good luck. All right, move up a bit. Bit busted up. If it was in better condition, I probably would have taken it. That's a fast looking iron. Professional hairdryer. These things blow out all the time, so it doesn't surprise me to see them hang around. There might even be a cord in this microwave, in this vacuum. Yay! I got one. They're rare as hen's teeth these days. There's so many scrappers around, you couldn't believe it, right? I don't think I've ever seen so many scrappers. They're everywhere, and they've come out in just regular cars. So every second car is a scrapper. So it's really awesome that there's so many around, and you know, picking out good stuff before it goes into landfill. There's a couple, because yeah, a lot of it's just going to go to waste going into landfill, unfortunately, because even though there's a lot of scrappers, a lot of them are very picky. They'll only take what they really want and nothing else. So they must drive around more often, because they're not stopping at every pile. They certainly get around, and so the chances of them, you know, actually finding what they want is pretty good. Well, it looks like a scrapped out PC. Most definitely. They left nothing on that one. That cord done. A bit of wire. Hey. Oh, you know, slowly but surely picking up the odd bits. That's just rusty steel crappy stuff. Really no too dusty and dirty for me. If it had some brass, I might be tempted. It's a bit of extruded alley. Yeah. I won't take that, I'll take the jack. So yeah, just the amount of scrappers out here I don't think I'm going to fill up the van today. Although I don't really want a full load of scrap steel to take in, because I've got to go to the scrapyard, but I want to take in a few other things, so yeah, just a half a load of scrap steel would be good. I might just end up throwing in a few push bikes and stuff at the end, but yeah, because there's less and less areas that are doing this kind of hard rubbish now, you know, the scrappers are really congregating, you know, and but we like some good competition, and you know, over the years sometimes it's just been I picked up a jack and now another jack. I hope that's not a sign of getting a flat tire. Oh, we've got some copper and some iron, nice piece of wire. Hey, got me complimentary copper pipe for the day. Aluminium. Nice long bits. I might as well take that too. Nice piece of Rio mesh. I don't think the garbage truck is going to take it. It's too big. Bit of wire. Junk. No, brass. That'll do. Junk. All right, keep moving. Oh, got one cord. Household junk. What's over here? Printer. Bits of wood. Looks like we've got a little motherboard. Oh, beautiful. How's that for a little motherboard? Still got the CPU, the heatsink. Well, that's super handy. Well, we're not getting PCs, but oh, that should do us. DVD. They're still working?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, mate. They're nearly new.
Yeah.
Go for your life.
Yeah, I want to build a big workshop out in the farm
Well, there you
So-
go, mate. They'll come in, and it said all the globes work, everything.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
All right.
what you take, I'll put out more. So, there we go.
No worries. Yep. Thanks for that.
Push bike.
Yeah, I might have a look. Mostly electronics, electrical stuff. Hey, they still work. Alright. Alright. Well, I got those spotlights, 2 sets, and he said he was going to keep them, but he decided to get rid of them. Yeah, I like those ones because they got the globes are easier to buy, and they got really nice big globes, and he said it all works perfect. So I'll definitely keep them ones. How are we going to do this? Yep. Just want to have a little look here. It's just cassettes. Huge TV, way too big for me to carry. Looks like scrapper's already come and scrapped out. Hey, it's Dumbo. No, I'm not going to take that wheel. Scrapyard doesn't like wheels with tyres anymore. Yeah, sometimes they'll take one, but yeah, huge TV. It'd be really nice copper in that, but that's about as big as you can get and weighs a ton. You need 2 people to carry it. All right, keep moving. Feel like coffee? Coffee machine. Tiny alley. Like that. Wow, look at those clouds over there. That's threatening some big rain. Okay. No, I can't play piano. One of these old Breville's. Probably not a really good one. Sometimes people like these for parts and they restore them. But I don't think those ones will be restorable. Nice old piano. Really nice wood. If you could take the wood, it would be good. There's a copper stacker heatsink. What a shame the rest of the PC wasn't there. Yeah, I just a couple of minutes ago there, I just helped the guy out. I dragged his TV out, helped him. He was only a small guy and he had a giant TV. So I did my good deed for the day. Nice motor in there. Oh, it's a eWaste machine. You know, at least it's unusual. Got a whole lawnmower there, but I'll leave it because it's a Rover. Still got compression. I'll leave it for a lawnmower guy, you know, because it's worth more to a lawnmower guy than to me as scrap. Yeah, not too bad. At least I got these lights I'm really happy with. So they're two things that I'm definitely going to keep. Take it to a farm property. They'll come in handy when I'm in a, you know, need lighting outside. Got some good poles, you know, aluminium, a few coffee machines, some cords. You know, it hasn't been too bad. It's the only cord the cord cutters didn't get. Little microwave I won't bother with. An old scooter. Take a bit of that for scrap steel. There's another one. I already took a push bike trailer. Oh, this is, oh yeah, that's nice. Nice heavy steel. Well, quality over quantity. Okay, still got this bucket to go through and get some brass out of it and bits and pieces. So, and I did get those hard drives, but that's the only PC that I got. DVD. Hey. Just grab whatever. Well, it's starting to rain and I feel like calling it a day, so I might just top up with a couple of push bikes. Get some scrap steel value out of them. But yeah, it's getting quite dark with the cloud cover and rain, so big old it's only light TV. So yeah, it's been okay. It's just one of those days, you know, a little bit light, but still had a bit of fun. I might as well take this lawnmower. It's an old one. No one's going to want it for anything else. Get some iron alley for it. Oh, 2 lawnmowers. Perfect. Fits like a glove. I might just go for a walk up to the next pile. Nice tow bar. Alright mate, might take your tow bar.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Thanks.
Start for scratch still.
Yeah. I'll take the
Yep.
starter. Cool. Thanks, man. Oh, got a tow bar and a starter motor. Good motor. Ah, that's a heavy tow bar. Might as well make a move. I'll take this big one. I'll take the ballast. Oh, there's a few around here. Oh, there's brand new ones in boxes. But believe it or not, I've actually got brand new ones in boxes as well. Iron alley that, I think. I might just bring my van up, too far to carry it all. Okay. It's a bit lopsided, all the stuff in here. It's kind of all over the shop today. But get some value out of these and scrap metal at the same time. Good stuff. Just before the rain gets too strong too. Nice cable in there as well. It all adds up. Okay. Oh, they're brand new. Brand spanking. But as I said, I've already got I've got about 6 boxes. I won't take any more. I'll take some of these bigger ones, scrap metal, and get some aluminium here. If I can avoid the plastic. And the tubes. I'll take the rest. That'll work. Good stuff. Do I want that big one? I'll take it as scrap metal. Oh, actually, there is ballasts. They're underneath the panel. All right. Get out of this rain. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to pretty much call it a day. I don't have a great deal of room left to do like a mega scrap steel run. It's mostly lightweight, some heavy bits of scrap steel, but because I've already got scrap steel at home, and I only want to do a little run because I've got other things I need to take to the scrapyard. So yeah, sun's starting to go down as well, so it'll be a while before I'm probably 25 minutes away from home, so just have a little scoot around. But yeah, no, oh, there's a Mac. How's that for spotting? I spotted a Mac in the rain. Got to get this out of the rain. Oh, yay, we got a PC. Oh, it's a nice Mac too. Front seat got a bit wet at the top just as I decided to go home. Nothing else? No. Fantastic. Well, that's a bonus. Now the door doesn't close properly. All kinds of things are going wrong with this van. I need to replace it, but I'd still probably use this van as a scrapper van. Oh, that was handy. Nice Mac. Beautiful. I don't think I've got this size. I like to try and keep at least one Mac of each model that I find, and so really happy with that. Well, here's a motor and a fan. Oh, looks like, yeah, oh, it's a air conditioning compressor. That's heavy and slippery, and I think there was a radiator. Wow, oops. Yep. Put all that copper and brass on there. And the radiator looks brass too. That's nice. Oh, it's starting a heavy rain. A little bit of rain doesn't bother me, but because it's getting late, there's not much incentive to really go around. So sun's out, the clouds are out, the rain's out. Got a bit of everything today. There's still scrappers around. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because, you know, people would be putting out last minute items right now, you know, but yeah, I can't sort of hang around for that. I'm too far from home and I'll never get back to unload. We'll just scoot around, follow this other scrapper, try and go another way. But yeah, I think I'm right at the end of it anyway, so well, it wasn't so bad, guys. Hope that was a little bit of fun. You know, every week can't be a fantastic week. Oh, well, there we go. Audio Sonic DVD car player. Empty. Yeah, they can't be fantastic weeks every week. Sometimes you don't get as much as the good stuff. But I think I did alright. Yeah, that radiator turned out good. It's been good. So yeah, I think it might be a good time to start heading back home and live to scrap another day. Okay, well, I got back yesterday. It started really raining pretty hard once I got back, so I couldn't empty the van, but so that's what I'm going to do now, is just take out all the scrap metal, pack it aside, take out all the other good things out of it, and then repack it with scrap metal and take it to the scrapyard. A few things I want to process first, like these fluorescent light housings. No point in having them hang around. It's just a bit of wire and a couple of ballasts. So I'll process them and then throw them back into the van as scrap steel. And so that's what I'm going to do now. So it wasn't a bad pickup, as I said, you know, a few good bits. Yeah, the lights that were pretty good. But still, because there was so little electronics, like I didn't get any PCs yesterday, and mostly because there's so many scrappers out and about, and it's just really hard. Like if I seen any PCs, they were all scrapped out, and so yeah, it's just really hard to find anything in this area, because there's so many, there's not many PCs out there as it is, and then because there's so many scrappers. But in the areas to come throughout the year, it should get a little bit better electronics wise. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of irony alley here that I guess I can throw, you know, stuff like this. I'm not going to bother with these things. I'm just going to throw them straight into irony alley. I'd rather just put the junk in as well. So this is my little irony alley bin at the moment. Most all this stuff was from the last week's hard rubbish street scrapping. So I don't have a lot, because you know, iron alley is, you know, still reasonably low value. Sure, it's better than scrap steel, but it usually just takes up a lot of space to build up a decent enough collection. You know, so like this tub, it's only because this tub is empty at the moment that I've been throwing the iron alley in. But as you can see, it's not a great deal, and usually I don't get a whole lot of iron alley, so I usually just give it away as scrap steel. Just saves having to do anything, you know, take up space. Okay, so I've got some, you know, extruded alley. I've been building up quite a bit of extruded aluminium out the back, so just cut these cords as I go. So yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't bother trying to get out motors out of these coffee machines for you know, 40 cents worth of motor. You know, you got to spend a lot of time on them, and I just don't have that sort of time. I thought this was aluminium at the time, but it's only scrap steel. So that's all I'm going to do, guys. Yeah, get these ballasts, fluorescent lights out, and at least process them. As you can see, it's a big chunk of scrap steel, but that's all it is. Just a little bit of wire inside. So rather than having them hang around, process them and send them straight out with the scrap steel. There we go. So 2 ballasts. I've just got to get my side cutters. Yeah, but the levels are down, so it's really good. I'm starting to be able to catch up on stuff in the garage and all that. See, that piece there is all aluminium, so I mean, it's only lightweight. You know, it's only worth like $1.50, but still. And these ballasts, I just send them in as scrap transformers. My yard buys transformers and motors together. I don't try and bust these open and get the copper out, and these new ones are okay. At least they're safe, but you get some old ballasts and they can have, or they do have, PCBs. So I just throw them in with motors and transformers. And see here's an old vintage ballast from a fluorescent light system. Now this one here can guarantee that it's got PCBs in there, so very dangerous. Very deadly. So if you bust open these to try and get a little bit of copper out, you're going to you know, virtually kill yourself for a few cents of copper. So I'll just clear out this. Cut the wire out, get a little bit of value, you know. It's not a great deal. Just got my little wire bin here that I work on, and that's it. So they're very quick and simple and to scrap out. Sometimes the screws can be rusted in and a little bit harder to get the ballasts out, but because these are new, and I got brand new ones in the garage, 6 of them sitting there, so I don't need any more of these kind of things, and I'm not interested in putting them aside to sell. So that's that. Oh well, straight into scrap steel. And so I'll do all of these ballasts before I head off to the scrapyard and clear off all this street scrap stuff. So we'll empty out again so we can go again next. Yeah, in a few days anyway. So I might try putting these lawnmowers into irony aluminium. And yeah, what I'll do, I'll first pack the scrap steel in, and then I'll put the irony aluminium in the back. And then if I've got any room, I'll put in something else to take to the scrapyard. There's that nice radiator. And yeah, it's a brass radiator. So that's pretty cool. It looks like it's brass. Well, it might not be, unless it's yellow aluminium, but it looks like it's brass. It's got a bit of work to be done on it. Obviously, take off all this copper and all that. You know, at least the easy copper, and I'll see what I can do with that. Oh, well, that was right at the end. It was just a little bonus thing, I suppose. And this, well, it's not really irony aluminium because it's only got a little bit of aluminium on it, and it's mostly iron. So I'm not going to try and rip off the scrapyard. I'm just going to throw that into scrap steel. Alright, put these aside. Those push bikes, like if I picked up a lot of push bikes, they just take up so much room, as you can see, and then they take up a lot of room in the yard, and they're really awkward. Once you pack them in, trying to get them out, they kind of stick together and all that. Got this nice big heavy it's just a compressor. These compressors, you can't put these compressors in motors because they're a lot lower value than a copper motor. They're about half the price. So some people, they try and like if they've got a lot of motors, they might try and get away with throwing one in the batch. But really, they refrigerant, air conditioning type of compressors, all, you know, they've got their own category. So if you've got a few of them and you put them in with motors, you're going to downgrade your whole motor batch. Yeah, a lot of these ballasts. This light, I'm just going to throw straight into irony alley. So hopefully I can get rid of all this irony alley today as well, and free up my bin because I got circuit boards I need to put in there. Alright, well, I'm just going to keep going. Try and empty this van out and start processing these fluorescent lights. And okay, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 23 ballasts out of that batch of fluorescent lights, so that's not bad. They're all the good heavy ones, so you know, you get some value out of them as transformers. Here currently getting about 50 cents a kilo. This is the only one that's very lightweight, but it's still a ballast, but it doesn't weigh much at all. Even these smaller ones weigh 5 times more than that. But yeah, and so all of these here are, you know, the newer style, so there's there shouldn't be any PCBs, but I don't risk it. And it's just not worth trying to get the copper out. Just like most motors, it's not worth trying to get the copper out. So I got some nice colourful insulated copper wire from it, and now I'll just continue on. Yeah, so it's, you know, normally I stack them aside and get back to them another day. Ends up they stay here for like 2 months, and as I'm doing more pickups I keep adding more. I've had like 60 fluorescent lights stacked up that needed to be scrapped out, and it ends up being a really big job. They're so quick and easy that it's much better just to process them as soon as I get them in and send them straight back to the scrap metal yard. And you know, I get my value for, you know, it's not a lot, but you know, there's still value there as in for scrap steel. So now I can continue on here, separating this steel and aluminium, and get out any good bits I want to keep. I'll just go and get a bin for the cable, and we'll keep going. Yeah, so, you know, I get people saying to me, why don't I put in a bin into the van to throw all my cables in? It doesn't work out. Look at the van now, it's just a mess, and a bin just takes up extra space, whereas cables, they, you know, they sit in amongst the scrap and they don't take any more space. Where, see, this wheelie bin, if I had this wheelie bin in there, you know, there's a whole big heap of space that, you know, I can stack 8-10 PCs in that space that it takes up. So this is just my little tub that I throw in cable, that whenever I've got a spare 5-10 minutes, I'll pull out a few cables, cut the cords, and process them. You know, just saves me from having cables lying around, and little bits and pieces like little modems and stuff like that. Yeah, untangle these. So we're pretty lucky, being winter. It's still quite nice days. I think it's the warmest start to winter for a long time. So it's a bit unusual. So these bikes are totally locked in together. That's why I prefer not to do bikes. But they were right at the end. I was going to go anyway, so I thought, well, a few extra bucks in scrap steel. All right. Yeah, I've got some heavy bits, and these poles, they're just awesome. You just don't find poles that much anymore. So, I mean, it's easy to throw out these poles another day, but these are 9 foot tall at least, you know. And I've had recently, I had some people say to me, well, why don't I bring an angle grinder and cut them in half so they fit nicely? I don't want to cut them in half. I want them as long as possible, you know, because I don't know what I'm going to do with them. And you know, if I cut them in half, then I've got short lengths. I've got enough short lengths. It's easy to then cut down to the size that I need. Obviously you want it as long as possible at the start. If it was just for scrap steel, that would be different, but I value these poles quite a lot. I'll put them around the side here for now. This is all mostly good bits of steel that I keep. So it's going right down. This is all the side of the house. Steel really long and really thick, heavy ones going all along the fence line, and just good bits of steel, lots of pipes, all kinds of things in there that I like to keep. And so those 4 pipes, yeah, they're just too good to send to scrap steel. And as I said, one day if I decide I'm not going to use them, I can always send them to scrap steel then, you know. So yeah, these are awesome. I'll just leave them there for now. But yeah, they're almost, I think they're 9 foot, maybe close to 10. That's a really, this one's a really solid one, real heavy, a little bit longer. You know, try buying a piece of steel pipe like that. You know, it's not cheap, and I mean, why pay for it when you can, you know, when I can pick it up for free and take it, you know, because if the council picked them up, they would have, you know, probably, you know, it would have just went into scrap steel, if not landfill, depends on their load. So, oh yeah. These lamps, I can just send the whole thing like that, just cut out the cords, scrap steel. This thing here, I might throw it in pressing steel. It's got a motor in there. Oh, sorry, iron aluminium. And these things here, they're nice little pieces of extruded aluminium, but yeah, they need quite a lot of cleaning up. So I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, where am I going with this? I'm just going to throw it in iron alley. So as you can see, street scrapping, you know, it's pretty cool, you know, and easy to go around for a couple of hours, pick up scrap. But it's still quite a bit of work for this predominantly low value stuff. You still got to come back and unload and sort your stuff out. That's why I prefer electronics, because, you know, get much more value out of computers and things like that. And I still get scrap metal, because the cases that emptied out later are still scrap metal. So it sort of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, and gives me, it's not just the value, it's what I actually enjoy doing, recycling e-waste. I'm not really a scrap metal guy. It's only because there's a nice piece of copper. Yeah, it's only because I have to deal with scrap steel in the process of recycling e-waste. So otherwise, you know, I'd probably try and avoid it as much as I could. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with this. Just put it in iron alley. But yeah, I'd like to empty that tub today with iron alley at the scrap yard. Just want to get out these lights before they get damaged. These are really super lights. I normally get the yellow ones. They're a cheaper version. Just a lighter version. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully they adjust. But yeah, you can see the really nice globes in there, the tubular ones. Yeah, I like them. They're a lot easier to buy than the other ones that have just got the long thing. Well, probably not easier, but I just prefer these globes, and they're super efficient and they're very bright. He did say they work, so let's test him out. If they don't, I'm going to take them back, ask for a refund. Okay, got my little testing station here. I just got this new one mounted up. Oh yeah, yep. It works. I can see that the globe is wobbling around in there. It needs to be tightened up in there, but that one's working. Yeah, the globe is loose. Well, there you go. So they give good light and you know, really good efficiency, so they don't cost much to run. And it's just when you're working in a particular area and you just want to focus more light in that one zone. I don't work on cars anymore, but you never know, and can always pass them on if it turns out I never use them or something. But I've got too much stuff hanging around. I'll just put this down here for now. Okay. Yeah. If worst comes to worst, what I might end up doing is taking off the lights, because this rack looks a bit wobbly. Or just taking it, yeah, either taking out off the lights or taking out the globes, and just have one, because I don't think I'm going to need two. And I've got to keep in mind that I need space in the workshop. Okay, so these push bike things, I don't need them. I don't know anyone else that uses them, so just scrap heavy steel tow bar. Oh, have no idea what this would be off. I suppose I could have asked what model it was, but it's rusted out anyway. All right, well, I'll continue on here. Separate the steel from the aluminium and get out some electronics. There's the tower of hard drives. Yeah, pretty strange. It's obviously a scrapper or someone, who knows. But I'll take out all the hard drives, I can sell them. Oh, well, see, this is the problem. He's actually taken out the boards, right? Yeah, I didn't notice that. So with all these circuit boards gone, it just ends up as only aluminium, right? Because, you know, my buyer buys hard drives, but it's with the circuit boards. Doesn't buy scrapped out hard drives. Or so, oh well, it didn't turn out as good. Have got some circuit boards in there, so some low grade. Yeah, a bit of low. Oh well, a little bit anyway. Oh, some little motors. Oh yeah, bunch of motors. So I'll still get out what I can. Got all these hard drives. Oh, there's one with a circuit board, so I can sell that. There's another one. A Kindle. I've got a few Kindles I've put together. One day I want to scrap them out. Oh, these are really good. Jeff. Yeah, they're like inventory kind of things, almost like little computers, and these are good for gold recovery. They've got really good boards in there. I've got quite a pile of these, as well as Kindles that I've been keeping. All right. Oh well, I've got 2 hard drives that I can sell as hard drives. And these, well, they do weigh a bit. Adds a little bit extra weight to my iron alley. And this, I'll just take it at the back and sort it out. Throw the rest straight into scrap steel and get rid of it. Never ending. Alright. And I'll probably take those ballasts in and all these motors, just not as big a pile as I normally have, but just to get rid of them, because it's the same with a lot of things. When you get so much of it, when you build up so much, then it turns out into a real big job trying to get, take it to the scrapyards. A lot of work, So do it in smaller increments and everything just seems a little bit easier. All right, let me continue on. If you remember this steel bucket that I picked up at the same place where I got those hard drives in that tower. So I'll just go through some of this stuff and okay. Oh, it's got some bolts in there that are rusted in, but this is irony alley. So I'll keep them. And yeah, just I noticed the padlocks, it's irony brass when you still got the padlocks on them. And this part here still got a bit of iron in there. So it's mostly irony brass, but I go through, because all your keys, they're all brass. So they're only keys, they're not much, that's steel, but they add up. So I just wanted to go through a bit of this, at least get some of this brass out, see what else is in there. Some steel ones, just have the magnet spare, so I don't want to put steel keys in with brass, obviously. Oh yeah, see, there's a bit of cable. So there's definitely value. Crappy old wrench. Muffler. Tin. Stainless. It's actually it's just a nice piece of flat steel. Sometimes you got to weld something and repair something, so I keep that. But I'll go through it whilst it's relatively easy, and yeah, move on. Well, I found how's this for a coin? It's not gold, but it's not magnetic. It's probably pewter. It's from the Australian Red Cross for donating 200 donations. They give you this big gold coin. Wow. I think it's made out of pewter or something, or it could be just copper. It's not aluminium because it's too heavy. It's either brass, copper, or pewter. I've gotten a lot of these bits out. They're not magnetic, or oh, this one is. It's got a piece of, oh yeah, so don't know. Got some aluminium. Yeah, a lot of keys, some locks. Just it's just going to take too long, I think. Oh yeah, there's still quite a lot of brass, so I'll keep going. There's another coin. Oh, this is 150 donations. So going from 150 to 200, silver and gold. So there might even be a bronze Wonder Woman. DC Comics. Aluminium. Yeah, still keys in there, but I just can't be bothered going through all the keys. So that's this tub done. Okay, well, everything is out that I needed to pull out. Now it's time to throw it all back in, put in the ironing alley, and go to the scrapyard. One thing I did forget is this Apple iMac. Got to clean it up now. It got wet. Well, it's dried up now. Well, that's a nice iMac. Really happy with it. Still got the cable. I'll just take it in. All right, looking good. Happy with that. I should plug it in and see if it actually works. It's probably not going to work, knowing me, my luck. I just happen to have a Mac keyboard here. I might try it. You never know. Okay. I can hear sound. Oh yeah. Oh, it powers on. The screen's on. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got the little apple. Awesome. It looks like it's going to work, this. I haven't got a mouse handy. Usually there's mice everywhere I look. Usually there's a mouse. Yeah, it looks a bit, you know, it's powering on, it's coming on, it's just a little bit slow. But I might just leave that. Oh yeah. Yeah, anything? There we go. I don't know what it's telling me to do. Okay. So I don't know what it's asked me. I need a mouse. Hang on. Oh, I can't find a mouse, but it looks like it works. Just don't know why it's asking me to restore from backup or reinstall operating system. I can't get out of it. I'm not good with Macs, but if I had a mouse, I'd probably be able to bypass that. But it works, so there you go. Picked up a working Mac straight off the street. Turn it off. Awesome. Well, that's worth a little bit on its own. I just had my buyer come and buy a whole heap of laptops and PCs, so he would have bought that for sure. I probably would have gotten, you know, easy $50 or so for it. All right, so that's done. Now, let's get into loading all this. Might start off with these PCs and stuff. All right, leave it with me. All right, well, not much there. That's all the scrap steel there is. Funny, it looked like a whole lot more when it was just packed in loosely in the van, but right, so that's the scrap steel. Now it's time for the irony aluminium, and I'm going to put all that at the back here, starting off with this lawnmower. Yeah, once I get the two lawnmowers in, it's not going to give me much room. I've got this whole bin of irony L here that I need to get rid of. So we'll see how we go. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to just put some irony alley on top, and that'll be one of the first things I start taking out. I also need to put this tub in here because I got little bits of irony alley. I'll just fill that up. All right, I'll start working on it. Well, I'm glad there's no more lawnmowers anyway. This is a nice chunk of aluminium, but it's hard to get those pins out, the steel pins. So I'm just happy to get rid of that. All right, let me keep going here. I'll get rid of this junk. Okay, I got my tub back. I might actually try and get rid of this thing because they're all a bit tight, too tight to get this brass off. So I'm just going to give it like this. Well, that's it. That's all my irony alley. Two lawnmowers, sewing machine, a couple of scooters, a little bike, coffee machines, lights, bit of everything. So I'll just see what I can get out of that. I'm not really fussed about it, just happy to get rid of it. All right, well, I think I got enough. I'm not going to take any motors or anything in. I'll just get two bins at the scrapyard, and we'll just empty this out and see what we can get from a bit of scrap steel and some irony aluminium from two street scrappers. All right, see you at the scrapyard. Ah, I forgot one irony alley. It's this this brolly thing. This is all mostly aluminium. It's got a bit of iron on it. It's got plastic, too much plastic to deal with, so happy to get rid of that as irony alley as well. I think that's it. All right, let's get out of here and go to the scrapyard. right. Just wait on a couple of bins. Yep. I need the bigger bin. All right, that's all the eye in the alley. Okay. Where do you want it?
Sit on that pallet there.
I'm assuming your mower still goes iron alley?
As long as the body's aluminium.
Oh, well.
That one's steel. That one's aluminium.
All right. Okay, so for iron alley, they've got to be steel. They've got to be aluminium.
The body's got to be
body.
aluminium, yeah.
So what happens now?
That one has to come out, and the rest of it's fine.
Yeah, you want to give us a hand to get it out, or?
Yeah. What's the best way, mate? Straight up, you reckon? There we go. Just put it on the scale.
All right. Everything else? Whippers.
Yep.
The bike. Yeah. All right. All right, man. Okay. Go and cash this in. Okay. Well, in the end, I got $79.73. So quite a lot of work. For not much value. Obviously it's only steel and irony alley. So it turned out with the irony alley, the lawnmowers, the only ones that are classed as irony alley is they have to have an aluminium frame, like that base part, the base plate or whatever it is, that needs to be aluminium for it to be classed as irony alley. Now, you know, maybe, you know, you might be able to get away with it at times. Maybe I have at previous times, but it's, yeah, strange. This guy's a different guy, so, but, you know, so I had to throw that one lawnmower into just pressing steel. So pressing steel, yeah, still had a quarter of a ton, 253 kilos, still only 11 cents a kilo, $27.80. The 143 kilos of irony alley, so still a decent weight. Had a few heavy items, the coffee machines as well, 30 cents a kilo, so almost 3 times as much as pressing steel. Got $42.90, so not so bad. And that stainless steel sink that I had, it had brass on it as well, but it also had a little bit of steel on it, so 9 kilos, $1 a kilo, $9 just for that. So I mean, if you take into, you know, if you compare the things that I'm picking up, you know, like push bikes and scrap steel and all that, $27. I mean, just one stainless steel sink, $9. That could have been even more if I, you know, took the time to take out the brass and all that, but they were just so tight, so I didn't bother. But there you go. So it took me, because I spent the time and scrapped out those fluorescent lights and a few other little things, it took me, you know, a couple of hours to unload and load back the steel and irony alley, you know, or probably closer to 3 hours. I did have a couple of breaks, so, you know, not a great deal of value considering I did spend time and fuel picking it up off the street scrapping. So, you know, yeah, that's why, you know, for those that say, why didn't I pick up this piece of steel, or why didn't I pick up that chair, you fill up a van really quick, and, you know, it's very low value for the hours that you spend and the time and the money that you spend driving around. You know, you're not getting much value for your money. So that's why I go for eWaste. I go for anything electronic. So I get the circuit board and the copper wire, you know, PCs, I get motherboards and all that. That's why I prefer to spend most of my time out there street scrapping for eWaste, because I've got to drive quite a fair way away to go get there. So if I fill up with scrap steel, I'm full in half an hour. I haven't had a chance to go around and find really good e-waste, and then I have to drive all the way back home, you know, spend that fuel and time, you know, to only end up with very, you know, very little. Like, you know, that's, you know, it's okay for probably in total 4 hours work and less fuel. So you know, it's still probably, you know, I'd say about $15 an hour. That was all right. It was still $79 in the account. That's 79 bucks that I never had yesterday. So and we've got rid of a whole heap of stuff, and we still got value as far as copper wire and transformers, like the ballasts that I got, all that kind of thing. So we've still got extra value there that I haven't taken into account. And then obviously all the other things that I picked up, street scrapping, that I'll get value from, you know, later on down the track. Copper and clean aluminium and extruded and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's enough of me for today. Hope that was a bit of fun for you guys. I did the whole lot in one thing, but it was over 2 days. Just wanted to empty out the van, take it to the scrapyard and get rid of it so it's not in my way for the rest of the week, so I can focus on the garage and cleaning out some good stuff and yeah, keep scrapping. All right guys, catch you next time.